Bro, all you heard the words are coming out of my mouth hole. Thank you very much, Bucket MM5x5. Good morning. We have a shit ton of stuff to get through this morning. It is the 13th of December, 2024. I am Bear from the internet. We're going to do a hybrid brief / coffee time with Bear, commentary, analysis, opinion, spoon-fed propaganda from the mainstream media, as well as alternate propaganda from other corners of the interwebs, as well as the national intel as submitted by y'all, intel@bearindependent.com. Now that I'm basically an A-list celebrity on X, I would really appreciate if more of y'all could email in intel@bearindependent.com what you are seeing, experiencing with your own eyes, your own ears, the intel that you are generating. Copy that, Bear. All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. No problem, Bear. All right, we're going to talk about, apparently, first of all, there's some meteorites coming in tonight. Now, as I was cruising the internet at warp speed this morning, I saw meteorites tonight peaking 13 December 24. What I didn't see is where the hell they are. So I don't know where these meteorites going to be, but they're going to be somewhere tonight, question mark. So go look at the night sky. Could be you. Could not be you. I don't know. Or, Google foo, figure it out. Scuba Rob, you asshole. They're in space, Bear. Are they? How do we know that they're not just little tiny holes in the firmament, man? What do you don't know. Nobody knows. That's it. Moon landing was fake. Stanley Kubrick, here we go. We're off the rails already. Meteorites. Anyway, there's going to be some meteorites, allegedly. We're going to talk about China's economy this morning, or lack thereof. We're going to talk about President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. * and 39 pardons, 1,500 commuted sentences. Who exactly did this guy pardon? You guys know. Say it with me. Scumbags. Right. Christopher Wray, director of the FBI, has resigned. Interestingly, timed with this whole January 6th investigation that's been going on. Talk about that a little bit. We're going to read the national intel submitted by y'all, and we're going to talk about drones. All the drones. What do they want in New Jersey, the petrochemical state? What's there? Oh, there's many things there, but why? Why New Jersey? I don't know. Well, we'll get into that later. Sound good? Okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. No problem, Bear. All right, cool. Subscribe, ring the little bell icon, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithmic robots, for all the assholes in the comments. I don't think I can trust this guy. Then don't be here. It's fine. See, what most people miss, if you are a content creator, you're thinking about becoming a content creator, here's a little nugget for you. I've been doing this 7 years officially. I just got my little thing from YouTube. They've still refused to give me a YouTube play button. But look, they gave me a little pop-up the other day. It says, your channel is 7 years old today. Thanks so much, YouTube. You guys are the best, except you're not. We hate each other's guts, and that's fun. We call this a détente. I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's engage in trench warfare and see who can stay here longer. All right. Content creation tip. Create opportunities for the assholes to show up. So now you know who the assholes are. It's like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, right? Hoist Gracie. Why do you fight in a gi? Oh, because when you touch my gi, now I know where your hand is. I don't have to go looking for it. It's there. Now I can break your wrist without having to chase your wrist down. It's right here. Okay, so it's like, think about it as like digital whack-a-mole, right? This guy said mean things on the internet. I say mean things in real life. Like, there's a parking lot right here. You want to party? Let's go. So anyway, with that, Bear Independent Brief, 13 December 2024. Do the things, people. Subscribe, bell icon, comment, blah, blah, blah. Share the show with somebody you love. Okay, Bear. China may be switching its fiscal policy from prudent to moderately loose. Now, if you're into Chinese fiscal policy, you're probably getting pretty worked up right now. You're like, ooh, they're loosening up. They're no longer prude. Something that hasn't happened since the global financial crisis of 2008. Indicator, and here's what you need to know. indicator, economic indicator. The country is still battling its housing downturn, reduced consumer demand, deflationary pressure, and now a looming trade war as Trump is set to take office in 2025. Maybe, maybe the drones will get him and fly him to, I don't know, somewhere. Diddy's Island, Epstein's Island. He would never go there. He's the Messiah bear. Okay, best of luck with that bullshit. I don't know if this dude gets in January or not. Although everybody seems to be kind of just allowing it to happen, which we could go 3 or 4 conspiracy levels deeper there. Why? Why? Maybe it's the big switcheroo. Anybody think about that? Listen, economically, I'm much more interested in the Trump presidency than a Biden presidency. I still don't trust people. I don't put my faith in man. This guy's a man. He's been a lifelong Democrat until he wasn't. He was friends with all these people until he wasn't. And that's fine. I've had periods in my life too. I used to play drums in satanic heavy metal bands. I don't hang out with those people anymore. So I get it. People change, right? I'm just saying there's something like politics, bro. Politics with billionaires at the helm. I think instead of just like 100% buy-in, I'm going to maybe hang back over here on the sidelines and do what Messiah said and know them by their fruits. I'm just going to see how this shit goes. I have reservations. How could you say that, Bear? I thought you were a patriot. Patriotism has nothing to do with love of government, asshole. It has to do with love of country. Love of country. Stop revering men. Stop revering people. It gets you in trouble. Macquarie chief economist Larry Hu explained, quote, such a tone suggests that policymakers are deeply concerned about the economic outlook. The postman likes turtles, he has said in the chat. That's good to know. Like Ninja Turtles, like Heroes on the Half Shell, Turtle Power. Yeah, those guys. Back in 2008, China had released a large monetary stimulus to weather the storm of the financial crises, but analysts do not believe the country has such leeway in its current day. In other words, they're way off today than they were in 2008. For perspective, in 2008, the stimulus was the equivalent of a staggering 13% of China's gross domestic product, but the 5-year package announced last month is only 2.5% of GDP. One key reason for the conservative approach, analysts believe, is to, quote, keep some ammunition in reserve. Is that literal or figurative? Probably both. For potential tariffs coming from the Estados Unidos. That's us. Let's read some more propaganda. As for the United States, White House National Economic Council Director Lael Brainard. These people just have the dumbest freaking names and the dumbest titles. It's like, what should we put on a business card? I don't know, but make it long. Make it long. If it's under 12 syllables, I'm not interested. White House National Economic Council Director. That's 14. That's 14 syllables. Lael Brainard. It's good. So it's good. It'll work for the business card. Lael Brainard noted in a statement that during the Biden administration, incomes have outpaced price increases and that inflation is now close to pre-2020 levels. Excuse me, Lael, but bullshit. Do you know why incomes have outpaced costs? Outpaced inflation? Because small business is still somehow the economic engine of the United States of America. And small businesses don't have the luxury of hiring somebody on Monday and laying them off on Friday. You know why? Because we have to look these people in the eye. There's no corporatism here. And our input costs have gone way up. And we have to let our yes be yes and our no be no. And so when you commit to somebody, you're not just hiring somebody. You're making sure their bills get paid, that they've got food in the pantry, that there's fuel in the car, that they can afford to take a day off on occasion, that they're going to be at the dance recital or the football game, that their kids are going to have shoes. You're pouring into somebody's life, okay? And wages have had to keep up with inflation while the dollar has decreased in value exponentially over the last 4 years. So screw you very much, Lyle Brainerd, because you've probably never employed anybody in your life. And I've been employing people for 24 years. Yeah, it's mean out here on these streets, Lyle. Incomes have outpaced price increases. Yeah, that you might be getting paid more dollars than you used to be, but the dollars are worth less than they used to be. Okay. President Biden has recently made remarks on how President elect Trump will be inheriting the strongest economy in modern history. That's a quote, to which I also say, bullshit. The strongest economy in modern history. I would disagree with that statement. Oh, you guys, you ever get that post nasal drip? You know what I mean? A little drippity drips in the back of your throat, and you're just like, maybe if I just power through, nobody will notice, but secretly you're just like dying over here. It feels like your eyeballs are going to pop out of your skull. You know what I mean? Yeah, me either. That's never happened. The strongest economy in modern history, and how Trump's tariff plans are, quote, a major mistake because Biden is known for his economic prowess. In his words, Biden's words, allegedly, because, or whatever, whoever programmed the Biden robot that day, quote, by all accounts, the incoming administration is determined to return the country to another round of trickle down economics. Shit, I'll take it. I like trickle down economics because somewhere down here in the lower echelons of the economy, some of it will trickle into my pocket, and I'm good with that. Trickle down economics and another tax cut for the very wealthy, said Biden, asterisk. The very wealthy are going to get another tax cut. Define very wealthy, asshole. By very wealthy, do you mean like the people that have started wars all over the globe? Or the people who have bought off thousands of judges here and financed all kinds of civil unrest here in the United States of America? Maybe the very wealthy, like people who might have sat on the board of certain energy companies like Burisma Holdings. The very wealthy, like people who have been bought and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party, who are here in business and politics in the United States of America. The very wealthy, 39 of which just received pardons from your administration, or 1,500 of which just had their sentences commuted by you. Is that what you mean by the very wealthy? Or do you mean Americans who are struggling to not just throw their kid on, drive to Washington, D.C., and show you that January 6th was a warm-up, homie? Or is that what you mean? See, I think a lot of people are glossing over the state of the American populace right now because Trump won. Oh, the sun has come out again. Everything's going to be great. No, a lot of us, me included, are still friggin' pissed off. I'm not happy about the state of American politics, regardless of who's sitting at the helm. I'm not happy at the state of the economy. I'm not just giddy about the valuation of the US dollar. I'm certainly not in support of having one or two or three global wars, all of which are funded by my taxpayer dollars and all of which will require the blood of my sons, which I am not willing to give up to this administration or any other. I'm not happy about any of this. It's not easy out here. It's not good out here. And it hasn't gotten good again yet. So before we all just take our foot off the accelerator, maybe just for a moment, Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump, both of y'all pull your heads out of your asses because there's real people that suffer as a consequence of your actions. Another tax cut for the very wealthy. Shut your damn mouth. Continuing in Biden's quote, that will not be paid for, or if paid for, is going to have real cost, once again causing massive deficits or significant cuts in basic programs. Basic programs like what? Like DEI, like taxpayers flying illegal immigrants, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of them into this country, like Biden, who is the Biden administration that is scrambling to load the border wall materials that have already been bought and paid for by you onto trucks and sell them as literal scrap metal. If it's dimensional steel, it's been pre-cut, pre-drilled, ready to install. Nope, now it's just scrap steel. There's a line of semis on the southern border with the Biden administration trying to sell off all this border materials now so you can pay for it multiple times, even though it hasn't been installed yet. it just significant cuts to basic programs. Like what else? Like what else? Maybe we wouldn't need basic programs. Maybe the government's job is not to be your sugar daddy. Maybe we wouldn't need these basic programs if people would just get their damn fingers out of the pie. You'd fix the money and you'd leave everybody the hell alone. Return to what the Constitution says you have authority to do. Everything else, let it fall by the wayside. Of course, continuing in the brief, of course, the common civilian looking at this week's grocery bill has a hard time feeling that the economy is all that great because of the high prices on the shelves. And while some people put their faith and optimism in the next Trump presidency, some also worry about how possible trade wars and mass deportations may make their financial lives even more complicated. Just as a reminder, Trump is not, nor has he ever been, a fiscal conservative. Massive amounts of spending under the previous Trump administration. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, if you have the money to invest, you should. If you can bootstrap whatever, you should do it. But the United States of America, unlike Argentina, which is finally running a surplus for the first time in 129 years. Thank you, Javier Milei. We don't have a surplus. We're $36 trillion in debt. $36,000 billion. We're $36,000 billion in debt. And we should, in my estimation, deport every one of these people that doesn't have the legal, moral, ethical right to be here. We should secure our border. We should also stop fighting wars all over the damn place. We should also stop with all these special interest programs. We should Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. I don't love Elon Musk. I certainly don't love Vivek Ramaswamy, yeah, government spending is ridiculous. Like capital R, ridiculous. And you should take some of that savings and use that to do the things that actually matter in this country. But Trump has never been a fiscal conservative. The amount of spending that we had during his previous presidency was off the charts, literally. It's not hyperbole. It was off the charts. We don't have the money currently, unless we freed up in the budget, to do all the things that everybody's talking about doing, which means necessarily programs are going to need to get cut. And they should. A lot of these programs should be underfunded or unfunded. In a recent interview, Trump was asked if he could guarantee that the proposed tariffs would not force Americans to pay. He stated, quote, "I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee anything. No one knows. Maybe, possibly. It could be yes, could be no. I don't know. Probably. Maybe." Tariffs are likely going to drive up costs here in the United States of America, I'm for them. Let's get super specific here. You are going to see probably in between now and January, maybe February, massive amounts of Chinese product shit coming onto market. Massive amounts. Because they want to get that money now while they still can, before these tariffs take effect. I'm particularly concerned about this because one of the things we do in one of our companies, Refuge Medical, is rail against bad Chinese air quote medical products. They're terrible. And if you buy them and try and use them to save a life, it's not going to work, which is why Refuge Medical exists in the first place. Costs be damned. This was my original concept. Costs be damned. We're going to make the best first aid kit we possibly can. And then market factors. Turns out costs be damned is not a great business model. So we did everything we could to get the price as low as possible to have an American-made guaranteed forever product. Forever. If your grandkids inherit your Bearfac and it breaks when your grandkids use it, I'll replace it then. And when it breaks, I mean like the nylon pouch, the components aren't going to break because you're the best on planet Earth. Okay. And so like this is near and dear to my heart. A lot of this air quote medical stuff is going to flood into the country, and it's trash. It's garbage. And every time you buy that or something from Temu or something from Shine or anything else from the Chinese manufacturers, you're literally putting money into the Chinese Communist Party's pocket, which they are literally using to be able to wage war better against the United States of America. Every time you buy one of those pieces of shit, it helps fund Chinese cyber attacks on the United States of America. It helps buy off crooked politicians here. It helps buy body armor for when our guys and girls, unfortunately, per the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, now women can be conscripted as well. It helps buy body armor for the guys that we're going to have to go over there and fight. It helps put bullets in their rifles that are going to come flying back at us. It's a huge problem. Nobody talks about it. Everybody should be talking about it. It's a huge problem. And so you're going to see an influx of Chinese manufactured bullshit on the market in the next couple of months. Stay away. Stay away. It's garbage. And specifically when it comes to air quote medical stuff, it will not work. It will not work. And you might have saved $20, but your patient is dead. And if that patient is your wife, your child, your best friend, it's not worth it regardless of who the patient is, but it certainly is not worth it if it's somebody you deeply care for or have a biblical responsibility to provide a covering to. Okay. All right. Let me get off my soapbox here. The last government report on Consumer Price Index, or CPI, just revealed November experienced a 2.7% year-over-year increase. That's not good. While not wildly off target, it still marks the largest increase in the last 7 months. Bright MLS chief economist Lisa Sturtevant wrote, quote, "This is the second month in a row that the year-over-year change in the Consumer Price Index has increased. Prices rose by 0.3% between October and November." Now, also note that tied into these inflation numbers in the CPI is not food costs or energy costs. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but for me, on this side of the screen, if my family goes without food or energy for too long, they will die. In other words, we are compelled by the very fact that we exist to purchase and or create food and energy. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed, Bear. Okay, nerd, simmer down. All right. You understand what I'm saying. Or maybe you don't, but everybody else understands what I'm saying. Since May 2023, wages have been rising faster than inflation. Again, there's that. But the value of those rising wages has not kept up with inflation because of the devaluation of the US dollar. Because the money sucks. Because the money doesn't sound like that. Since May 2023, wages have been rising faster than inflation, which is the main reason why persistently higher inflation has not slowed overall consumer spending. End quote. The importance of consumer spending cannot be overstated. In fact, consumer spending is the largest driver of the economy, accounting for a massive 70% of economic growth. Specific pinch points for consumers right now aren't just groceries, of course, but also housing costs. Whether it's rent, mortgage rates, or the price to buy a home, none of it's great. In fact, the increase in housing cost was responsible for 40% of the increase in November's Consumer Price Index. I have thoughts on the increase in housing costs, one of which is input costs. Materials cost more. Another, which is labor, which is due to inflation. We've been talking about that, inflation versus wages. And there's myriad economic factors that go into that. But if you fix the money, the house costs less, the wages cost less, the materials cost less. And two other contributing factors here, in my experience. Number one is the overregulation of the building industry. Certain things should be regulated. You shouldn't be trying to run a 100 amp circuit on number 10 wire because your shit will burn down, right? That should be regulated. You should have like an actual plumber, an actual HVAC technician do their work. So that's part of it. but it shouldn't be overly regulated. Sir, your house is within a quarter inch of the property line, the standoff based upon the survey. You're going to have to knock it down and start over again. Well, that's cute. You're trespassing. Hopefully your face is made of Kevlar because we're fixing to find out. And then number two, the rise in, for lack of a better word, McMansions, these like produced production homes. These production homes are garbage. Like, look at the framing, look at the sheathing. See, most of y'all don't even know what you're looking at, but you go up and you look at the roof joists. They don't even touch. They're just floated in with 97 nails out of a nail gun. They're terrible. The construction quality is terrible. Okay. And then they fall down or they require repairs, which increases even more so the cost of owning the home, drives up the cost of building the home. I'm very blessed in that we saved up a giant chunk of money and then we built this home that I'm sitting in right now. It's 30 feet from my old house, which is right there, which is about to get demoed. Okay. We put a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of research into what kind of house were we going to build. The house that I'm sitting in is twice the size, square footage, livable space of the house that we were in, which is great because we have an expanding family and blah, blah, blah. Our electricity bill in this house that I'm sitting in is 40% for twice the square feet. It's 40% of the old house electricity bill. 40%, twice the square footage, 40%. Why? Because it's actually insulated. We actually have good windows and doors. There's the spray foam everywhere. Okay. High efficient, all the blah, blah, blahs, the furnaces and it's a big deal. It's a 3,400 square foot living space. Power bill's $100. I'll take it. A month. I'll take it. That's awesome. And that's not including solar and backup generation and all that other stuff. Right. But we put a lot of effort, a lot of thought into how this house was going to be built, what we wanted in the house, the whole nine. So the operational costs of the home go way down. It's a very well-built house. Now, I will say this. They took their sweet freaking time building it out. That was very frustrating. Very frustrating. But the finished product, very well built, very stout, excellent bones, very efficient. Look, I'm channeling Trump. I'm talking. These hands, they're for talking about houses, real estate. I love property development. Beautiful, beautiful properties. Gold, marble, swirls in it. It's so good. So good. Tile. I like tile. Big tiles. The best tiles from Milan. House is very efficient. Very. Bjorg, it's worth it, Bjorg, said Trevin in the chat. Bjorg is talking. Bjorg must be from Norway, probably, if I had to guess. Somewhere Scandinavia, up there, north of Poland. When you see a B with a J, could be Clinton in a White House, but probably Norway is what I think when I see a B with a J followed by an O. Bjorg, Bjorn, Bjorgen, Schmorgen, Gorgon, the big guys. They pick up the kegs of beer, they throw them over a pole. They like to pick up cars, run with them. Big rocks, beautiful rocks. You could build with these rocks. Nice houses, beautiful properties. Anyway, the economy's shit. That's the remainder of the brief. And the remainder of my commentary on the economy being shit is I don't necessarily trust Trump to fix it. So we have national intel. We'll pivot to national intel in a minute. Let's talk about who it is that Biden has been pardoned. Well, we could start with, first of all, we don't know. I would challenge you to try and bounce around the internet today and get the full list of who has been pardoned or has had their sentences commuted, because what you'll probably find, what I have found, is a whole bunch of intentional fog. What is fog? The fog is all these air quote news reports from all these outlets, Reuters and AP and Fox News, MSNBC, blah 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 blah, where they all have articles out about Biden's pardon, all with the same bullshit talking points. Even if you just look for a list, if you go to whitehouse.gov, look for a list. Who are these people? Okay. Well, they talk about like heartstrings, and Tina was arrested 19 years ago because she had a weed seed in her pocket on a traffic stop, and her sentence has been commuted. Yeah, okay, I don't care about Tina. I want to know about everybody else. Well, it's all these tugging on the heartstrings bullshit stories that are being reported to create the fog that as you go looking for who has actually, like, who do I really care about that's been pardoned, had their sentences commuted? Can't find it because of the fog. So I'm going to keep digging on that. I'm going to have the dance monkeys keep digging on that. I would recommend you guys keep digging on that as well, because we don't know who all these people are. But we do know who at least one dude is. This guy's awesome. Oh, wait, no, he's not. I hate his guts. His name is Shanlin Jin. I give you 3 guesses on country of origin for Shanlin Jin. This, of course, is coming from X, formerly known as Twitter, posted by MJ Truth Ultra. Michael Jackson Truth? Is this Michael? Is Michael back from the dead? Is heing at us via X? One of the 39 people Joe Biden gave a full presidential pardon to is a Chinese national named Shanlin Jin, who was convicted of having 47,000 child sexual abuse images and videos in his possession, including the abuse of infants. So if you've ever wondered, who is Bear actually? Bear actually is the type of person that just would kill somebody like that fast. Bear, you can't say that on camera. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Shanlin Jin, that guy's dead on sight. Dead on sight. Hands, knives, stabbing weapons, whatever. Don't care. That guy's dead on sight. This expo marker, whatever I got, that guy's going down. See, and yeah, you know what? We'll go here. CalebHouse.org. Caleb with a K. CalebHouse.org. Why? There's an increase. You guys ready? You're ready to puke in your mouths a little bit? You want to be just horrifically pissed off today? Sometimes, you're like, wow, Bear seems a little saucy today. I wonder what's wrong with him. Because there is shit that I know that you don't. And there's shit that I walk around carrying in my brain and on my soul and in my heart and on my shoulders every day that you will never know. And that's intentional. You can't ever know it because it would violate operational security. You don't want to know it because most of y'all wouldn't sleep tonight. I'd be stealing shalom from you if I was to tell you. But I'll tell you this, the increase in abuse in nonverbal children by these satanic pedophilic pieces of shit is through the roof. Why? Because they're nonverbal. And the reason that they're abusing nonverbal children is because they can't testify in court because they can't even speak yet. Which is why when I see a piece of shit like Shanlin Jin, I just want to kill him. And which is why when very, very soft beta male big C Christians who are like, well, that's not very Christian of you. I want to kill you too. I want to hit you both with a rock. because you being a sopping wet pussy is not serving the kingdom. And the Torah says, the instructions for mankind say, I get to hit this guy with a rock. And then people say, well, what about forgiveness? What about mercy? Well, see, that's in between them and the Creator. The disposition of their eternal soul, that's in between them and God. But that pattern of behavior is so egregious that we cannot allow it to continue to occur, which is why God also says, hit him with a rock, which is why Messiah says, if you harm one of these children, it would be better for you that I tied a millstone around your neck and pushed you into the ocean. What would Jesus do? He would drown that pedophile with a millstone. No second thoughts. Well, how does God feel about that? God says, smack him with a big rock. Every one of you, all the children of Israel. Okay. So there's an increasing trend in the sexual abuse of infants because they can't testify in court. And our air quote president here in the United States of America is pardoning people like this because people like this, Chinese nationals who are into the abuse of children, have compromised our presidency and the upper echelons of our government, which is why, forgive me, I don't give a shit who's been elected to the presidency, because most of those people who actually run the show are still there. And they are a huge part of the problem. And it's why I will not revere any man or fear any man. I fear Yahweh my Elohim, the Lord my God, period. The end. End of story. Because I will not kowtow to pieces of shit like this. I will not do it. And if more men simply stood up and said, no, we're not doing that, and you have no authority to tell me to do that, to try and make me do that, it's not happening, you're delusional, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in. But instead, we have to argue over the dumbest shit. And go to church on Sunday and hear the really nice guy tell me about how I should be a really nice guy. I'm not a really nice guy. I'm a good guy, but I'm not a nice guy. And we have a pandemic of nice guys that has allowed the bad guys to accrue as much power and influence as they have. And now it's break glass in case of emergency time that the good guys, the hard men, have to come out and fix this shit. And all the nice guys are bitching about it. Well, that's not a nice way to fix it. Well, it wouldn't need to be fixed in the first place if you hadn't been such a pussy and allowed children to get raped on your watch. Love the sinner, hate the sin. No, kill the sinner. You rape a child, and I find out about it, you better run. And just know this, you're gonna die tired. Simple as that. So this is the kind of person, Bear, you can't say that on the internet. Too late. It's out there. You're gonna get demonetized, probably. You're gonna get a channel strike. Oh no, they're gonna take your channel away. Bitch, I don't really want this channel anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't. And see, and that's the thing. They're gonna deplatform you. It's already happened to me twice. They're gonna debank you. It's already 2024. It's already happened. They're gonna what? What are they gonna do? I'll tell you what they're not gonna do. They're not gonna show up at my front door like men. No, because they have to attack you asymmetrically, because face to face, might have a different outcome. These are the kinds of people that our air quote president is pardoning. He was sentenced to 97 months in prison, but not anymore. 47,000 images and videos of CSAM, child sexual abuse material, on his computer. Chinese national Shan Lin-jin pardoned by President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. What a piece of shit. You shall know them by their fruits. Behold, I come swiftly to reward each man according to his works. Come swiftly, Messiah, come swiftly, and reward them according to their works. FBI Director Christopher Wray is stepping down. Very interesting timing, giving the January 6th. Can you even say that on the internet? Shit, I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, whatever happened to the First Amendment? Do I have a First Amendment right as an American? Yeah. Well, this could be viewed in other countries. Well, then other countries cannot watch it. I'm an American. Period. The end. Praise Yah. I'm an American. But I'm a son of Him, the Most High, first and foremost. And we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator, not their government, with certain inalienable rights. And amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I know it used to say property, but it doesn't anymore. I have a God-given right to say whatever I'm thinking. I have a requirement from the Most High as a man of Elohim to speak His word. Now, a lot of people hate that. Like, you call yourself a man of God. No, he does. Go argue with him about it. Well, I don't like your delivery. I don't think you should be talking that way. Well, then I don't think you should be listening. I think you should go somewhere else where somebody will tickle your ears and make you feel good about yourself. I'm not nice to me. Why would I be nice to you? I'm just not. Lamppost sent me something yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. Where'd it go? It's a sign that says "Be nice or kick rocks." And Lamppost said, "This is a good banner for you. Kind of worked for your pound sand line lately." And I said, "If I get that sign, I'm going to get kicked out of my own house." Be nice or kick rocks. No, I can't stay here. I have to go kick rocks. All right. Shall we move on? Christopher Wray. Trevin, we love the truth bear. I do my best. Christopher Wray has resigned. This is coming from the apnews.com. The intended resignation was not unexpected considering that Trump had settled on Patel to be director and had repeatedly aired his ire at Wray, whom he appointed during his first term. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of people are talking about this is a departure from the tradition of, dude, screw your tradition. Does it work or does it not work? Like, that's one of the things that really annoys me about mainstream reporting is this idea that we have these closely held traditions here in the United States of America about how things should go. But it's not working. If it's not working, why do we keep doing it? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome? No, we have these in a break with tradition. Dude, screw your tradition. Your tradition sucks. Does it work or does it not work? Doesn't work? All right, we're not doing it anymore. So, okay, I don't care that it's a break in tradition that Christopher Wray is resigning before fulfilling his entire term. Wah. Dude, get a life. Get gone. The timing of this resignation is what's super interesting. And there's a whole bunch of blah, blah in here. Blah, blah, blah. Wray doesn't want to leave. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, Wray talked about the weaponization of the justice system or the Department of Justice. Oh, really? Let's see. In an interview with NBC's Meet the Press that aired Sunday, Trump said, "I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home." That's a really nice way to put that. Merrick Garland said, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? The guy's resigning. All right. Why is he resigning? Well, I got a question for you. The mainstream media is now reporting that the FBI had 26 known informants inside of the Capitol building on January 6th. Just 26? Oh, but don't worry. They were all operating at their own discretion, not at the direction of the FBI. I'm positive that's what happened. What else are we going to find out in the near future? Did Christopher Wray authorize this? Is his name on the list of Biden pardons? Biden pardons? Maybe. We don't know because we had to find out about Tina, who got arrested 19 years ago for having a marijuana seed in her pocket. 26 known provocateurs. Yeah. My guess is it was a lot more than 26. And my guess is some shit's going to come out that's actually going to stick to the wall in which Wray will be implicated. And so now he has resigned his official position, which is going to make it harder to get at him. And he's probably on that list of pardons, which is super interesting. So that dude resigned. How much do I care? See, this is the thing. At some point, we end up back at politics as usual. It's politics as usual. I got a question for you. Why do we know more about Luigi Mangione, the guy who allegedly assassinated the CEO of United Healthcare, in a week than we know about the dude from Butler, Pennsylvania, who first fired at Trump, shot his ear off? What was that, 5 months ago? Just simple question. Nothing to see here, right? Politics as usual, right? Lee Harvey Oswald, much exactly. Unvaxxed nurse, exactly. Did the whole thing, this whole pattern is ridiculous. He used a ghost gun. I don't care if he used a rubber band. He did a terrible job. I don't know. Maybe some misdirection, says Mike D. All right, we got a cruise. We got 2 more things to talk about. Let's see. In New Jersey, they want to shoot drones with shotguns. James Ward, a Jersey Shore realtor, shared a video on Facebook that said it showed an SUV-sized drone above Island Beach State Park taken Sunday. This is coming from Fox News. It's difficult to judge their size in the clip, but it showed a number of lights hovering in the sky. Quote, dozens of SUV-sized drones in all directions, the caption read, emerging at the same time and flying over the ocean and then heading in different directions. Wow. Why hasn't anyone shot one down to look for a serial number to trace it back to the operator? Another wrote, I think that could provide a clue. Quote, semi-auto 3-inch Magnum double-aught buck full choke. Yet another replied. Yeah, on an SUV-sized drone at range, your 3-inch buckshot's not going to do anything. Effective range there's about 150 meters-ish, preferably inside of 75. But yeah, if the thing's flying over your house, which brings up the whole drones thing, right? Trump is the real deal, said Brad Cement. Okay, cool, man. Brad, it's your life. We're just passing through. You do you, boo. And I hope I hope he's the real deal, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you get on 4chan and hit the QAnon chat, you'll probably find a bunch of people that are in full agreement with you. But whatever you're into, man. Whatever you do. Right now, all the retired generals, they're rallying the troops at the grassroots level so that when Trump is inaugurated and the deep state tries to take him out and the intelligence community starts their warfare using the weaponized drones from Iran asterisk off the coast of New Jersey, and China does the cyber chat, then the grassroots can rise up and take this country back and make it great again in the American Revolution 2.0. And then I'm going to be king of the universe with my freaking AR-15, and I'm going to rule this residential community that I live in, and we're all going to get together and we're going to go assault grandpa's position so that we can get his moldy graham crackers so we can rise from the ashes like a phoenix and make this country great again. Sure, bro. Whatever you're into. Okay. You do you. Anyway, drones are kind of a thing. S2 Underground has had some very good reporting. A hoot sword. Oh boy, here we go. S2 Underground has had some very good reporting on what these drones may or may not be. And his supposition is, and I think I'm in agreement because I don't really know, and nobody really knows. his supposition is that this is actually military technology that is on display, that they are manned vehicles, not drones, and that there's something going on out there that is either nobody's supposed to know about. Either way, we're not supposed to know about it, but either they're exercises or there's something more important, so important that the military's, and I'm paraphrasing S2 here, but the military is willing to burn what had otherwise been a top secret program to combat whatever it is that's happening off the coast of New Jersey. S2 is straight up factual. Yeah, just the facts, man. A little analysis and opinion at the end of each intel drop. I like S2. Yeah, we've chatted on occasion. Good dude. Elaborate ad campaign by Elon Musk for flying Teslas. Well, they're flying over water, and if you've ever seen what happens when you put a Tesla in the water, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So we don't really know what's happening here, but it does illustrate the increasing concern due to drones, to which I would say, if you watched any of the war footage from Ukraine or you've seen around substations and power plants and nuclear facilities, all this drone activity that's been happening, and military bases, all this drone activity that's been happening, you can't categorically say all things in the air that are behaving suspiciously are doing X. They could be doing all kinds of things. And one of the things I think that they are doing, I believe that they are doing, is signals intelligence. They're hoovering up data. Now, we also know, this has been admitted as of a couple weeks ago, all cell phones in the United States, all of them have been compromised. Your text and talk has all been compromised. By who? By China. Okay? By China. It's all been compromised. And so I'm giving this to you for your level, regardless of what you're doing. If you're coordinating at all with you and your homies via text, stop. There are encrypted apps. You could use the encrypted apps, but a lot of the alphabet soup agencies have backdoors into those encrypted apps. And so face to face. I talked about this at Self-Reliance Festival. Talk called Surviving the Communist Onslaught in the Countryside. You can go find that talk. It's here on YouTube. It's free. I talked about that. Now, China now is actively monitoring all cell phones in the United States of America. But is China unilateral in their courses of action, or are they, as previously discussed, with Shanlin Jin working with certain people inside of our own government? I would say the latter, which means that certain people inside of our government have access to every cell phone text and call in the United States of America. How did they get that data? Well, in large part, probably drones, signals intelligence, or drones and signals intelligence is being used to do follow-up, PIRs, priority intel requirements. We know this. Now we want to know this. Well, how do we get that data? The other thing that you can do is you can just geofence an area. You can get the all the devices in that area, and then you can follow them for pattern of life and see where they're going. The drones are alien paparazzi fascinated with season 2 of Trump derangement syndrome, said Big Cheese. Maybe. I mean, first of all, I think aliens are make-believe, but whatever. I've already broken the internet enough times today with my face. So, but unvaxxed nurses got it in the chat. She gets it, or he gets it. Sorry, I see nurse. I assume female, but that's not accurate. I know many good male nurses. Whatever. I don't know what's happening with these drones, but I do know for you probably need a drone defense program, and buckshot's not a bad one. But buckshot from the New Jersey shore out into the Atlantic Ocean is not going to get it done. Okay? Okay, good talk. So New Jerseyans want to shoot the drones down. The Department of Defense has said there's nothing to see here. Don't worry about it, which is very, very interesting. Um, there's also a lot of talk in this article from Fox News about it's a violation of the FAA to shoot a drone, to which I would say, I don't care. You fly that shit over my house, I'm shooting it. Well, you're not allowed to do that. Bitch, you're not allowed to fly a drone over my house. Okay. You're lucky it was just a drone that got shot. Which, see earlier comments about if nice men would stop and good men would stand up, we wouldn't be in the position we're in today. What gives you the freaking right to fly your drone over my house? You don't have that right. Well, I have a piece of paper from the FAA. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You can't talk on that radio without a piece of paper from the FCC. Oh, also don't give a shit about that. Well, Bear, the ham community. Yeah, there's like 1.3% of the ham community I like because they're hardcore and they actually do stuff. The other 98.7% of the ham community sits on their ass and runs their mouth and not really into that at all. You don't have permission from the government to operate that radio that you paid your own money for. Who funds the government? Oh, yeah. So one could argue, and maybe I will one day in my free time take this to court. Maybe I have implicit permission because I paid for the FCC. Huh. And then let's get a ruling on that and then take that over to the ATF. Maybe I have implicit permission because I paid for this. Interesting. National intel. Shall we do the national intel? You guys care? The Georgia Guidestones sound better every day. Third Eye Jedi. All right, national intel is sent in by y'all to intel@bearindependent.com. So you guys email intel@bearindependent.com, and then I read it to you on Fridays. Sound good? Okay, Bear. All right, cool. Thanks, Bear. Oh, you're welcome, guys. A few months ago, I reported about the substation in my area installing barriers around the transformers. Now our small town, under 3,000 residents, has installed barbed wire topped chain link around the water towers. Just another small data point. Yep, protection of critical infrastructure. If you don't, and what does this tell us? How do we take this from the macro level and apply it to the micro level to your life? Protect your power, protect your water. Next, I recently went to North Carolina to do some volunteer work. Bless you. I worked from Fletcher to Spruce Pine. Yep, very familiar with Spruce Pine. Based on your intel regarding the water and soil contamination, go watch that video. I spoke with some local law enforcement officers. Being a retired officer, I figured I could get the down low. They were very guarded about the water, but repeatedly said, quote, do not drink it. Now, this is intel as provided by y'all, so this is multiple sources here, okay? Quote, do not drink it. This is after the local authorities had said it was fine. They also told me the water had always been bad even before the storm. Correct. Not surprisingly, everyone we helped either had cancer or had lost someone close to them with cancer. Yep. On a totally separate subject, before I retired, I was sent to a security training hosted by the local power company pertaining to substation security. Here we go, boys and gerbils. Being the only guy in the room without brass on his collar, I didn't hesitate to be that guy and ask the hard questions. Suffice it to say, they are totally unprepared for even a low-level attack on substations. I know. My questions included drone threats, ballistic protection, surveillance, and an SOP for reporting and dissemination. All those questions were answered with, we're looking into that. When they finally showed their hand, we were told that their increased threat level was due to the possibility of substation attacks due to, quote, load sharing. Substation attacks due to load sharing. Okay. What is load sharing, you ask? Brownouts. Why would we have brownouts in a state that has never had brownouts? Solar. Apparently, the energy companies buy power several times a day. When the big bright ball in the sky is out, they buy solar because it's cheap. When the bright ball goes away, they buy from traditional plants. The problem is the traditional plants were designed to sell power 24/7, not periodically. Thus, those plants are losing their ass and will be shutting down and reducing production. So, brownouts. The takeaway is no matter where you are, you need backup power. I agree. And yeah, the idea that a substation will be attacked by the local populace due to brownouts is not ludicrous, but it's pretty unlikely. It's more likely that well, how shall I say this? You know what? I'm not going to say it because there are things I just can't say on camera. Just bad people behaving badly. How's that? That's way more likely. 4,000 known terrorist cells in the United States of America. 3,000 counties in the United States of America. Do the math. Oh, Tactus Squirrel. Sometimes you just have to get the brown out. That's the show for today, y'all. We talked about meteorites, China's economy, Biden's pardons, Wray resigning January 6th, national intel, drones. Now we're going to talk about Refuge Medical. I'm also going to tell you guys, listen, the fine people at Covert Threads made these socks, okay? These are the Rock Infiltrator socks. These are made in America by a Marine Corps veteran in a family business, and they are the best socks that I've ever used. And these ones right here, because they're so good, have the bear logo on them, okay? And they just did another run. And so if you haven't gotten some of these, you should. Now, these are not 50% off, but a lot of their site is 50% off right now. And I will tell you, I make $1 per sock. If you buy a pair of these socks, I get $2 because that's the deal that we made. But I'm also, and they were very gracious in that because I would have said, hell yeah, put my face on some socks regardless because these socks are incredible. But that's what they offered me, and I took it. Mad Kelt says, my socks arrived yesterday. I love them. Yeah, these are amazing. They make a really good gift. It's that time of year for a lot of people. And what I don't want to happen, being perfectly honest, is I don't want Covert Threads to have gone out of their way to make this for me and for y'all and for them to end up with a bunch of them in inventory and lose their ass on the deal because they're a small company too. And I know what that's like. And so if you need a good pair of socks, and these legitimately are the best socks I've ever owned, they're phenomenal. And I've had Darn Tough and JB Fields and all the other good socks, which are also excellent socks. These are the best. I love these socks. And so if you work outside, you work on the homestead, you have somebody, in your family, somebody you love that is on their feet all the time, wears boots for a living. Maybe they're doing a little bit of soldiering. Highly recommend Covert Threads and go check out the bear socks. Okay. And I'm not shilling here. I do make $1 per sock. I don't want Pete and Sterling at Covert Threads to end up with an inventory of bear socks and lose their ass. Okay. So check them out. Okay. Does it have plastic crap in them? No, I see zero plastic crap. Go check them out. Come out of Hickory, North Carolina, covertthreads.com, made in the United States of America. And these are their military style of socks. So they got like pictures of like dudes doing the things on the side of the socks. They're excellent. Again, owned by a former Marine. So they are wool. All the wool. Refuge Medical is up to 139 lives saved to date. 139. To illustrate the whole you need a first aid kit in case you get shot, stabbed, or blown up. Yes, you do. Also, motor vehicle accidents. Also, check this out. 56-year-old woman cutting vegetables in her kitchen, has a seizure, falls on the knife, stabs herself in the liver, Bear fact deployed, patient stabilized. She made it. Things can go and what's the point? Things can go sideways anywhere. Like you can be doing anything. And if you lose too much blood, you die. Right? Yeah, retired Marine chat. Yeah, there's no retired Marine. There's just active informer, right? But yeah, this lady was cutting vegetables in her kitchen. All right. And so, yes, praise the most high JC Fixer. The point is you just need a kit. Like not just like on your war belt or your plate carrier or my chest rig or in my truck or at work, because we have a very dangerous job at work. This lady was cutting vegetables in her kitchen. All right. Like stuff happens. And so I would strongly encourage you, if you don't. Oh, I hear the baby. All right, give me the baby. I'll say hi to the baby real quick. Hold on. What are you doing? What are you doing? You come strolling down the hallway to say hi to the people? To say hi to the people? Yeah.
She has such a look of accomplishment right now.
You did it! You did it! I made it! Woo! I'm busted in. Yeah, you did it.
Do I see a snack?
What are we eating? Oh, a surfboard? Mm-hmm. I love these things. Squish is back. Guess who's back? Squishy's back. What are you doing? What are you doing? You got first aid kit? What do you like? The soft tea or you like the cat? Oh, you a Slishman fan? Okay. So you need a first aid kit, a real one, regardless of what you got going on. Meh. What? What? You want a tourniquet? Here you go. Here you go. That's for you. I got that for you. Yeah, look at that. So you can wear it on your forehead like this. You think? Good look? Yeah. Yeah. She's got 2 teeth now. We're up to 2 teeth. Very accomplished. Oh, you drumming too? That was actually pretty good in time. That was pretty good. That's the baby doing that. Thank you for getting slime all over my desk. You're the best. So the Bear Fac is back in stock. We put 550 back in stock the end of last week. We're down to a handful. All right, it's our flagship product for a reason, and it comes in all the colors. This one's in multicam, but they come in red with reflective, which is what I recommend for civilians, and also fire applications, and also law enforcement, so that you can find it in the dark. That's why it's reflective. You can find it in the dark, and we know, hey, that's a bleeding control kit, right? You can also get it in all the cool guy colors, so you can mount it on your kit. And I will demonstrate right now. You can access this kit one-handed. Maybe you're holding a baby, and I need this right now. Right now. And I've only got one hand. Okay? That's all intentional. And it says everything I need in it to fix the problem, one-handed if it's all that I've got. We've had 4 lives saved by people that had lost a hand or an arm due to injury, which is why this is designed to be deployed and accessed with one hand. Okay? And so it does all the things: massive bleeding, airway, respiratory, circulation, head injury, hypothermia, everything else. And it's our flagship product. And like I said, we put 550 back in stock. End of last week, we're down to a handful in stock, shipping fast. So if you want one, I would recommend you get one. And then the bare minimum, we got bare min over here. The bare minimum is similar, but not the same. So this is a slightly smaller kit. We got our tourniquet and shears on the outside here. And inside of here, we've got massive bleeding, airway, and respiratory, but then also boo-boo stuff for kids or for you if you're boo-boo prone, right? So you got your Band-Aids, your OTC wipes, your steri strips for wound closure, tape, gauze, etc., etc. Don't eat that charger cord. And this is very reasonably priced, and it's made in America, guaranteed forever. It has us behind it. And I'll also tell you this, coming up on the end of the year, if you have an HSA or an FSA, know when those expire. Oh, I love you too. Know when those expire, because if they expire and you haven't used them, you don't get it back. Okay. So all of our kits, all of our components are HSA, FSA eligible. And if you are an agency or a department or a mutual assistance group and you want to engage in bulk orders, just reach out to us. Or if you have a question, just reach out to us. You can use the chat on the website. You can email us. The contact page is easy to find on the website. You can call the store Monday through Thursday business hours. There'll be a human there. Email us, chat, whatever. And if you need bulk orders for your fire department, police department, you want a bear fact? Your agency, whatever it is, we got you. Okay. We do this regularly. We have 44,000 happy customers, thousands of 5-star reviews. Started this company in my barn alone 5 years ago, and we are now on 4 continents with 139 lives saved to date, thanks to y'all. And a baby who's smacking the desk that the microphone is on. Oh, you're not up there. Get up there. Stay up there. Yeah, so that's the refuge medical portion. Also, BPK's bleeding prevention kits are in stock, and they start at like $60. And so if you need to get a bunch of kits or you're budget conscious, check that out. Caleb House, Caleb with a K, calebhouse.org. We are 7.2% shy of our fundraising goal for the year. And everybody knows that December is the largest month for fundraising. So if the Spirit convicts, you want to pour into our counter trafficking ministry, where we find people who hurt people like who are on my shoulder right now. And we rescue those kiddos and restore them and make sure that horrendous shit happens to those people that would be evil enough to hurt babies, hurt kiddos, hurt women. If you're into that like we are, you can find us at calebhousewithak.org. It's making me emotional just thinking about it. How the hell could you? How? That's why Dad says hit him with a rock. That's why. That pattern of behavior is so far out of line. There's no coming back from it. So, yeah. Right? Save the kids. Caleb with a K, calebhouse.org. And then Grindstone Ministries, my favorite redheaded stepchild in the enterprise. We're working on, over the next 24 months-ish, a plan for what expanding Grindstone would look like. Basically having teams pre-positioned throughout the country. And in order to do what? Disaster relief. Hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, fires. Everything from debris management to logistics and leadership to distribution to road building to all the things that Grindstone does. What? You see the baby over there? And in order to get to that point, we've got to have a significantly larger war chest than we currently have, because it's challenging enough to maintain readiness with one team, which is the core team that we have right now based out of Oklahoma. If we're going to add more teams, that adds more overhead. It adds more capability, but it adds significantly more overhead. And so if you're into that, grindstoneministries.com. If you want to participate, if the Spirit convicts you to donate, if you want to evangelize for us, you can find all that stuff at grindstoneministries.com. Thank you. You want to do nice? Do nice. 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 Hey, this way people can see you. Nice. Not grabby. Nice. Where you going? You out? You had enough? That's a fan. I know. It looks like Darth Vader's cousin, but it's the fan. Oh. Oh. Give me my money, Daddy. Oh. Thank you. Okay. You say bye-bye, people? Bye-bye, people. Bye-bye, people. What are we going to do today? Track hoe stuff. We're going to do track hoe stuff. All right. I love you all. You're the best. May the Father make his face to smile upon you. Happen to the world. Don't let the world happen to you. Fear nothing but Yahweh your Elohim, the Lord your God. Love people. Love the Most High. Love. Love. And don't take any shit from anyone. You're not supposed to. We who struggle with Elohim, we who overcome with Elohim by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, and we who are ruling with Elohim for provision, protection, and blessing. I see y'all when I see you. Shalom.